small stuff. Honestly, I'm not exaggerating. Honestly, after what did he do? When there was a Watergate burglary, apparently authorized by the Committee for Re-election of the President, somebody in that office, without the President's knowledge, by the way. Once it came out, that committee set out to cover it up and protect these burglars. Eventually, the President got to know that's what happened. He did not act in time to address the situation. He maintained his silence because his cronies were nudging in a cover-up of the folly they've committed, and he kept silent. And ultimately, Nixon was removed because of obstruction of justice. He would have surely won by impeachment if he did not resign. He was forced to resign. Very minor misdemeanor. If you apply the same standard in India, I suspect 95% of politicians in office will go to jail. But despite that, after 1974, in the first flush of Watergate, the campaign finance reform laws came in that year. The Congress was really aggressive. But it took another 40 years, more than 40 years, to pass another law called Feingold-McCain law, which is actually a very feeble law in campaign finance reform, despite the fact that American campaign finance is in a bit of mess. So institutions take time. I want you all to understand, because you are in a center of technology, hub of technology. We all believe passionately that things can be changed overnight. Yes, indeed, some things can be changed overnight. But some other things take a little bit of time and patience. A reformer needs infinite patience. A reformer is fighting an extraordinarily tough battle. As a philosopher said 5 centuries ago, a reformer enjoys the uncertain friendship of the weak multitudes who do not understand what is at stake. But he incurs the enmity and wrath, the certain enmity and wrath of the powerful few who understand what is exactly at stake. If they try and do everything possible to stop it. That is the logic of reform all over the world. Institutional reform, political reform is about the hardest thing to accomplish. But once we accomplish it, it seems so simple. It seems so self-evident. We can't even understand, we can't figure out why it took so long. It doesn't make any sense. That's because, my friends, human beings in their day-to-day interactions are anything but sensible. In technology, we are logical. We are rational. We are balanced. But in terms of human institutions, we are frail. We are illogical. We commit mistakes. No country is an exception. The United States is not an exception. I was struck by the wonderful poem of Tagore, which was recited as a part of the film that they have shown us. I wish they recited the full poem. And I'm particularly fond of one line of Tagore's, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Every Indian must take this to heart. This line must be immortalized in India. We must understand what it means. Dead habit is a deadly thing. We continue many institutions and many practices for no good reason, except that it's been there for long, that's all. Dead habit. That's the way it was done earlier, that's the way it's done last year, that's the way it's done today. No other good reason. The real challenge is, how do you make sure that this clear stream of reason does not lose its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit? That's what we're fighting about. That's the challenge that we have. Because after all, what is it that we are really fighting for? What is Lok Satta fighting for? Shorn of all the verbiage, it's for simple, ordinary day-to-day things. We are in this Redwood Community Center. Is it Redwood? Redmond Community Center. I was told this is also the campus, Vishwa was telling me, this is also the campus of the elementary school in Redwood area. I'm struck with wonder and envy both. Because I've seen 3 schools so far during this trip. One was in New Jersey area, a middle school. The second was a high school in Washington DC area, Langley. The third is an elementary school. Each time I'm absolutely struck. The kind of infrastructure, the kind of institutions that you build in the name of education, or public libraries, or other institutions, is fascinating. It's not so much the money. It is really a reflection of what the society cares for. It's a reflection of what are the values of a culture, a civilization, how a democracy functions, what are the most important things. For 1 year, this country debated about health care, how to improve access and reduce costs. For the world's richest and mightiest country, the most important issue of debate in politics was health care. When have you heard in India a debate on education or health care? When have you heard a Prime Minister of India who devoted a whole speech on any occasion, even on a boring occasion like, inaugurating something, on any occasion, exclusive to education or health care with meaningful clarity? Can you recall a single event in the past 63 years? What does it mean? The wealthiest countries, the finest countries, the most prosperous countries, the countries that made it big, they focus on things that matter to people on a day-to-day basis. What do we care about? Nuclear agreement? That becomes very passionate debate. Or reservations discussed at that cost? That becomes very passionate because dividing people is a wonderful sport. That's how you get votes. Or interstate water disputes, that becomes very passionate, energetic. We go and burn buses and throw stones, get beaten up, and show the scars for the television cameras, because after all we have television too in India, much more than you guys have. I mean, there are 14 television channels in Andhra Pradesh alone, 24-hour news channels. Can you dream of them in the United States? So technology can be easily transplanted. That's coming to every part of India. But how do you change the way politics is run? That's the challenge. This is not about Lok Satta Party. Vijay always complains that no, I don't really promote Lok Satta Party. It's not that I don't or I do promote Lok Satta Party. It doesn't matter to me or to you or to anybody else, except to the extent that it has any relevance to the country, to the future of the country. This is a struggle about the country, about the soul of India, about transforming the way we do things, about breaking this dead habit, about giving everybody a chance. It's about education, it's about health care, it's about local control of the issues that matter. It's about giving a measure of control to the citizens over their own lives, as Mahatma Gandhi said in his talisman. It's about rule of law, the rich and the poor, whether it's Bill Gates of Microsoft or Warren Buffett of Hathaway, or an ordinary mortal. Everybody is equal before law. That's the kind of system we all desire. That's what the Constitution mandates. The Indian Constitution mandates the same thing as the American Constitution. Lord Blagojevic, the moment he committed an indiscretion and a corrupt act of replacing Barack Obama by somebody who would give money, the moment he tried that out, what amazes me is not that there is corruption. Corruption is bound to be there in every country. That A, the FBI actually investigated him. They already had him on his radar. B, they were intrepid. After all, Blagojevic belonged to Barack Obama's state. The man became president. He belonged to Barack Obama's party. It made no difference. Yet they acted against him. C, the political system promptly threw him out of office without much ado. D, almost certainly his political future is buried. E, almost certainly he would be in jail. That is what institutional building is about. Americans did not learn it. They actually acted, and they built institutions that could act. And that's what we are seeking. And that's what our Constitution says. We are saying, let's redeem the pledge of our Constitution. Because each politician of India, at the time of contesting and after being elected to office, actually takes an oath, which they all forget. They all don't seem to care. We all take an oath that we will preserve, protect and defend the Constitution of India. All we are saying is, damn it, redeem your pledge. No more, no less. And if it's not happening, we are saying we will all have to act because there's no choice. It's our lives. It's not their lives. They're pretty